Hello, everyone. My name is Alice Bull, and I run the membership group at scraphappy.org. I'm also the host of the Scrap Happier podcast. So, if you're a podcast listener, or if you're not a podcast listener, because you're like, gee, they just don't make awesome podcasts about scrapbooking. Well, yeah, they do. There are a few. And this is one of them, and they're short and sweet and just a little bit of inspiration to kind of get you on your scrappy way. So please feel free to check that out. You can also, if you're not like listening in apps and stuff, you can actually just listen to it right on the ScrapHappy site. Just go to scraphappy.org and look for podcast in the menu. Okay, well, today we are going to do some scrapbooking together, and we will have some time for some show and tell a little bit later because that is super fun. So if you're scrapbooking with me, you can like hold up your pages. Many of the gals that might be joining me today are taking part in the Scrap Happy Load Challenge. And we are scrapbooking a layout a day in May, inspired by the Golden Girls. It's such a great TV show. It has so many good themes. I found way too many ideas for us to include for 1 month of scrapbooking. Seriously, it was a problem. But overall, I think that we're going to, I think I tried to pick the best of the best and lots of ideas that help us scrapbook our stories. Today, I'm going to be using one of those prompts, and I'm going to be using a fantastic kit from the ScrapRoom. So I can't wait to show you that. And first, let me tell you a little bit about our prompt for today. So the Golden Girls, like when they're putting together a new show, they like to save a couple bucks, and they actually recycled a kitchen set from a different show called It Takes Two. And it only ran for 1 season, but they kind of changed the wallpaper and called her good. And then suddenly they had a kitchen set for the Golden Girls. And I thought that that was kind of fun. And I thought, gee, that makes an interesting prompt for us to use. So, our prompt of the day for storytelling is: how have you made yourself over or made a change in your life? Where did my picture go that I printed? That's a good question. Oh, it's on the printer. I'm like, oh, do I have my picture to print? I do. And then the prompt also has a technique prompt, and it was to use a found or recycled item. Now, it just kind of worked out funny that I was the featured designer for today. So I will show you that page since I have it here in front of me, and that is extra fun. So let's show you this. So the page that I made is all the good things, and I had made this background paper during the Happy at Home series last month, and I'll put this up on the other screen and I'll talk there because I'm going to be showing you the stuff from my kit, so it's like perfect. So let me do this. Let's share that up via cable, and there we go. Okay, so all the good things is the page, and let's see if that will help give us some better color. Yes, okay, so all the good things, and this one is inspired by the Golden Girls, but it's kind of inspired by the idea of change. And one thing that really changed in my life last year was the fact that I became a crazy chicken lady. And so this page became a celebration of 1 year of crazy chicken ladiness, if that's a thing. And I have this awesome stamp set, and I did some gold embossing. I had made the background during one of the Happy at Home sessions, just was testing the Vicky Bouton foundation paper. That's what the background is here. I did a stencil with some chicken wire with gold glitter gel from Gina K. How fun is that? And my found item were these fabulous chicken feathers. And I used a little bit of gold raffia, which also could count as a found item. Like seriously, like I had to go hunting for that in my scrapbook stash from a million years ago. But I thought that turned out super good, celebrated something that became such a big thing in my life this last year, but also brought me a lot of joy at a time when, you know, we didn't get to hang out with all our friends and do all the fun things. So that was what I did, but I'm going to be using this prompt, but in a different way today. So let me show you this. Okay, so this is the pictures that I'm going with today. And I'm kind of doing a comparison. And there's one thing that happens every time I get in Jonas's little airplane is I fall asleep. I'm just like, oh, hop in the airplane, night night. Like I'm out for the count. And it turns out that my son Joe is just like me. So is it a change? I don't know, but it's something that you know, is kind of funny to see. So I was like, well, I don't know. It's kind of like, it made me think of it. And then it was like prompt adjacent, which happens to me a lot. So it's a thing. Okay, well, let me show you what's in my kit. So I got my kit from the ScrapRoom. And one of the things that's included in my kit is a little coffee sampler. And this one is raspberry truffle. So I tell you, when I pulled this out of here, I was like, the raspberry smell is so strong on it, and like it smells like one of those almost like those chocolate cherry candies in a way. But yeah, so I was tempted. I actually didn't even make coffee yet. I'm like, I think I'm already hyper enough. So we have that, and then there are 4 collections in here. I also bought their add-on embellishment pack, so we'll kind of look at that as we go through these, and then we'll dig into the scrapbooking as we go. So you can see there's 4 mini kits in here. It's called a Flavors of the Month kit, and they're inexpensive, and I think they're a great way to get a sample of all the good things that are out in scrapbooking, because they have to go like shopping hard to kind of fill out 4 mini kits like this every single month. So I think that's super fun. Okay, I'm missing my chat. Let's open this chat window because it's super fun to see some chat as we go. Here we go. Hey, Candice, she says, good morning, everyone. So, okay, so there's 4 mini kits. So let's have a look at this first one here. Can I set that there? Will it stay? Maybe. So this one is Amy Tangerine paper. It is her Brave and Bold collection. You'll see that included is some random pieces of embellishments. So you don't get everything from the kit, and I'm kind of okay with that because honestly, do I need every single piece? But what they've included is a little collection of pieces so that you have a nice little sampling to make a couple of pages, right? It's not about having everything, but like, look at these stickers, super nice. And then there are some little die cut pieces, and then there are these little hexagon puffy stickers too. So you wouldn't get exactly what I have because you would get a little mix mash of the pieces from their embellishments. Like they take other packs and they break them up so that you get a nice sampling, and they're good about making sure that you have a nice sampling of it. And so then I've got 3 sheets of the pattern paper from this kit, super pretty. And let's flip it over. Oh, yeah, so this is really nice. I'm liking this one a lot already. And then also included are 2 sheets of cardstock. This is like a white cardstock from Basil. So white Basil cardstock. I like white base papers, so I'm already feeling the love, let me tell you. Little Amy Tangerine, bright and colorful. Like she really used a lot of like rainbow bright colors, but that's kind of an Amy Tangerine thing to start with, right? We see a lot of that from her. So I'm just opening up this embellishment pack, and you get different things when you order the embellishment pack. It's an extra add-on, but I really like it because it gives me the chance to just have more fun things to play with. And this is the part that matches with this, just judging from this. looks like that goes with it. So it's not like the double pack. Like I'm sure there's 2 sheets of this, but I get 1/2 of that pack, which, yeah, that's plenty. Like, because realistically, with 3 sheets of pattern paper, I'm usually making about 2 pages. Like you could stretch it. You can go further. You can add some extra cardstock. You could add some extra patterns from your stash. But that's kind of my expectation with these kits, is to be able to make 2 pages. And sometimes I'm a paper hog and I use it all on 1 page, you know, whatever, it's fine. if I make pages that I love, I'm happy enough with that. But if you want to be a little more conservative, it totally fits. So the next one that I have in here is from Maggie Holmes. It is her garden party. And there is 3 sheets of pattern paper. Ooh, those are nice. Ooh, look at that wood. That's pretty. Oh, 3 sheets of that pattern paper. The sheet of stickers. I got that full sheet of stickers here with all of her cute little designs on it. And then on the back here, we've got, ooh, that rainbow paper, super fun. Oh, of course. Why is it designers always do that to me? They put my favorite on one side and they put my other favorite on the other. I'm just going to say it happens and it's sad. It breaks my heart. Ooh, that's a nice floral though. Yeah, so lots of fun stuff there. And then I've got 2 sheets of cardstock in here, kind of in this sandy brown color, which is perfect to go with this. And then in the bonus add-ons, I've got these stickers here. They're puffy stickers and there's gold. Actually, I just used a piece of this gold like stuff on one of my layouts, this load, and I really love the effect of like running this down the side of a photo or even down the side or down the bottom of a photo. It's a really fun effect. So I'm kind of excited to get another little piece of that because that was a piece of trim that I have quite enjoyed using in the past when I've had them. And it just looks like a little I don't know, like what you would call that, scallop edge, I guess. But they make for a really cute little border. Okay, so that's that one, Maggie Holmes. This one, who is this one from? This one is, this is Wild Asparagus from My Mind's Eye. Ooh, I haven't had some My Mind's Eye for a while. So there's a couple sheets of basil and it is in a creamy color, walnut cream. So we're looking at cream-based papers, but these are super, this almost like makes me think like, I'm getting a retro vibe from this. Like this takes me back a few years to like some of my basic gray collection, some of my, like if anybody that has been like wishing for some of those older design companies that aren't around right now, take a look at what My Mind's Eye did here. This has got some retro vibes. I have papers in similar styles in my stash from way too long ago that I shouldn't be admitting that out loud. And yeah, this is, it's really pretty. I don't know if that's going to go with my photo of my son sleeping in his fluorescent galaxy sweater. It might not be the perfect stuff for this, but I like it. That's nice. Okay, so I'm not hating on the creams. Shocking. There are some little embellishments that were included in with this, and you can see I've got a mixture of die cut pieces, and then there's also some little enamel dots that will match perfectly. That's awesome. And then in my bonus like add-ons that I have for my embellishment kit, there are all of these little icons and little quotes and stuff. They're chipboard stickers. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. Throw that back in here. And as I go, I just kind of stick my embellishment add-ons in there so that I have everything together. And then finally, ooh, this is fun. This is from Photoplay. And we have here, this is like a full page of stickers. Like this is a full sticker page. So peel and stick stickers. And this collection is called Crafting with My Gnomies. It's one of their gnome collections. Heather is just like groaning, like, oh. I love it. I'm in. I am all about it. So, Crafting with My Gnomies. And it has the gnome pattern paper. One thing I would say, if you're not into the gnomes, but you like crafting, you know, like, yeah, there's gnomes on here, but look at all the other fun crafting things. They've got typewriters, they've got sewing machines, they've got a punch. This is a punch, guys. Like, how fun is that? There's scissors, there's glue, there's spools. You've got paint. You've got a die cut machine. Like, how awesome. A rolly tote. You've got some yarn. You've got little squares for quilting. You've got some yarn here with your big knitting needles. You've got a trimmer. Like, there's glue, there's like little sparkles or something. You've got a little package of sequins. That's like literally a little packet of sequins. Like, how adorable. You've got your knitting, like, it's sweet. There's a glue gun. Like, this is super fun. So even if you're not in the gnomes, just gonna say, this might be something that you would like. Ignore the gnomes. Now I'm gonna show you something about the paper. There is gnome paper. But look at the back side of this gnome paper. That's not gnomes. It's all good. And then, oh, look at how, oh, look at this. Heather's like, yes, I could use that. I love it when I can see your reactions. Like, that's super fun for me, by the way, just saying. So yeah, ooh, this paper, so nice. Okay, I totally have to do a crafting page with this, and these are not crafting photos. You can tell that I don't peek enough. I should peek more. I could have totally printed some of that. But okay, so that just tells me I can't use this today because I have to do crafty stuff with this. But like, okay, so here you go. How beautiful would this be to use without the gnomes, right? Like, with all the little pieces. So yeah, there's like, yes, she's on board. she's partying it up. And so, you know, that's what I found with their collection. And actually speaking with Becky Moore herself, that's what she said. When she said, we put this, we understand not everybody is into gnomes. So when we design it, we make sure that both sides of that paper don't have gnomes. And I'm like, thank you for thinking about the way we scrapbook, right? Like, and how we're going to use that. But yes, fabulous. Oh, that is like the like surprise win of this whole pack. Like, just how, look at that paper. That was like the win of the day, right? If we go like paper of the day, I think this plaid paper gets paper of the day because that is super fun. And that's a different plaid than what we see usually, right? It's kind of got wonky plaid, but all the color, and it's done so nice. So shout out to Becky Moore from Photoplay for that amazing paper. Oh, I should show you in my bonus add-ons. So the embellishments that came with this one is this full sheet of stickers. In the add-ons, I actually have other little pieces. So there's die cuts and like some little pop-out die cuts and some that are already little popped out, and Crafty Girls Rock, Scrapbook Weekend. Okay, I'm totally going to be printing off more pictures from one of our reunions and scrapbooking this because that would be perfect. So that it will be a thing, but that is not my thing for today because I have this other picture and I'm going in a different direction. So now I know that it won't be this one. And I know that it's not going to be this one, which leaves me with one of these two. Now I think this one lends itself easily to this. This one might be a little too cutesy. The word darling is actually kind of making me laugh with this. But yeah, I think this is fun. True story, that could actually be a really great thing. So I think I'm going with the Amy Tangerine today. And that's where we will start. Okay. So if you're scrapbooking along with me, can you tell me in the chat that like what your, like where you, what direction you went, what kind of topic do you have happening today? Yeah, what has inspired you? Are you using the prompt? Are you a little off prompt? something going a little bit funny. Oh, so the funny thing here too, this picture of me, I asked my husband to find one of me sleeping because I know he takes them and then I don't end up having them on my camera. So I'm like, go and find me one of those pictures of me sleeping. And so he found me and I'm like, oh God, am I really going to use that? It looks awful. But you see around my neck right here, I have a magic bag around my neck. It was so cold in the plane that every time we stopped at a little airport or something to get gas or any kind of stop, I would go and I would warm my magic bag up in the microwave. And I had a seat heater. So I'm saying like, I had a seat heater and I had a magic bag to keep me warm. So if you don't know what magic bag is, it's like a bag filled with like, you know, rice or grains. Grains, I think, is in them, and then you warm them up in the microwave and it keeps you cozy. So, but I think I've got the blue, I've got the teal, he's got the bright colors. So if I pull a little bit of this, that's okay, right? Yep, it's totally good. I don't think I'll be using this butterflies today, but I do like this other pattern, so that might make it on there. But we are flying. Is that a stretch? That's a stretch for me. But somehow the flowers, I'll use them. Like actually they kind of match his shirt, so I think that's great. And I don't always color match, let's just say. Sonia says she's catching up on my journal. Yay, that's awesome. Jacqueline says she's scrapping, living in a construction zone. Oh my gosh, are you doing house repairs or remodeling? That's even better. That's like a big change. That would be the perfect change for today. Making yourself over or making a change in your life. That's a good change. Candace is here. March says she's trying to finish some crop and create projects. I'm going to confess, Marge, I haven't, like, I opened the box, but I haven't even got as far as eating the popcorn yet because I want a weekend where I can just sit and do all the things at one time. So I'm kind of hoarding it until I have that moment. Maybe one of my days this weekend. We'll see. Okay, so I got some great papers. I think some good layers could happen here. What was this one? Ooh, some black and pink. And this was the crazy butterflies. So this one almost looks like it doesn't match. Like the colors are too quiet. Are they not too quiet? They look quiet compared to this other paper. Well, I guess they work, but they definitely look quieter. Okay, maybe for now I'll just leave these pictures together. So because we're both looking this way into the page, I'll definitely kind of like place some more to the left side of my page. One thing I keep seeing, and I think Shamel just recently did this. She did one of those pages that's divided in half. If you're a ScrapHappy member, we do have a sketch that is like that. If you're like, oh, I like that idea, but like where do we go? We do have a sketch in our stash of sketches. You can just like scroll through our sketches and you can see a divided page. But I think this would work pretty good as a divided page. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I think we're going to layer it onto white. So time to get the trimmer out. We're going to explore. Get this started. Jacqueline says that they're doing new paint, flooring, and trim on your main floor. Ooh, that's exciting. I'm so excited for you. That's like big changes, and like when you walk in there and it's done, you'll be like, oh. So yeah, that's really fun. Oh my gosh, very fun. Debbie says I'm pouting because I'm making party decorations instead of scrapbooking. It's paper piecing, but it's not the same. I'll catch up though. I love it. It's total. That was a total like a relatable comment. I get it. It's like I'm doing this thing and it's good, but it's not as good as. Okay, so let's trim off this. Oh, I love that paper too. Maybe I'll end up doing some other. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is make it like leave a little white border around the page. And that means I'm going to cut this to 5.5 instead of just 6. And then it's still going to be too long, but that's kind of the idea that we're going for right now. Let's see, where's my picture again? I've lost it. This happens. It's a thing. It's a problem. Okay. So I think by doing that, actually, I kind of like that. Running it right off the bottom and not necessarily matting the whole thing. I did a page like that the other day where I did it offset, and I really liked that effect. Let me grab that for a second and see. Oh, it's the one with the bad photo. It fell off because I didn't actually stick it on and I don't know where I've put it. So this layout had a photo, but the photo of my printer, I had to clean the print nozzles. I'm not even kidding, to like 10 to 12 times to get my printer to print colors again. It decided to do something wonky, but it's not something I do on a regular basis. It's like, how often do you check your print nozzles? Apparently I never check them, so they were in bad shape. But yeah, you can see with this one that I offset the whole layout to the side with the spots. I thought that was really cute. I kind of loved that look, and I'm a little tempted with this to try something similar. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I better not set that there. That's a leaning tower. Or doing like the revert. Oh, okay. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one also to 5.5. I haven't cut the strip off yet, but that's okay. Oh, it's got a full strip of florals. Might miss out on that. Yeah, okay. We're trying something different. We're playing. I've got this pink, and I think I'm going to use that to map my photo. I think that'll be good. I'm going to pull just a little bit of the white off of the top and bottom so that it's less thick. Now, last night, I actually participated in an online chat. It was like a panel chat. It was called The Crafter's View, and it was hosted with Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes. And she brought together some crafters. Actually, I was a little sad. She was going to have Teresa Collins on there, but anybody that follows Teresa Collins right now would know that she is going through some major stuff with some family in her life, like an injury. And they ended up like half an hour before she contacted Erin and said, sorry, we're meeting it with a doctor like in half an hour. And so she couldn't actually hop onto the call with us, like onto the video. But yeah, we did that on YouTube and Facebook. She kind of multi-broadcast it, and we had such a great chat. It was so much fun, and just like my heart goes out to Teresa Collins. I tell you, like right now, it's her son-in-law that had a traumatic brain injury. Yeah, so sad stuff, but our chat was really good. And yeah, this had happened a while before, but she was like, no, I want to participate just to kind of get my mind off of things. Like I'll do it so take my mind off of things, but then the timing just ended up going badly. But yeah, I ended up really enjoying our discussion. We kind of talked about where scrapbooking is right now, a little bit about where it has been, and a little bit about where we think we see things going in time. And I might have to rearrange some of these. So maybe this one will be down here. I'll see when I cut the rest of my, oh yeah, that one is definitely not going to be like that. That one has to be this one. yeah, it was a really good chat as we just talked about where we are with scrapbooking. Sonia said I saw the invite for the crafty chat and it sounded good. I couldn't make it. Yeah, it was it's probably not at a good time of day for you, I'm gonna guess, because yeah, it was at yeah, it was in the evening our time, which I don't think works very well if you're over in Europe. Definitely not the easiest. Okay, so what have I got going on here? I've got a lot going on here. There's a lot of pattern. There's a lot of color.
Alice?
Yeah.
I was going to say as well, it made me think, oh, is she doing something like the paper clipping round table? Because it reminded me of that. And I was like, I missed that so much.
It was so much like that, except in like totally as a video, right? It was all video. And yeah, it definitely had that nostalgic feeling to it. And you know, and just I didn't know all of the people that were part of the panel. I actually met Erin just a couple months ago through the Creativation Plus event that we bumped into each other and we're like, what do you do? What do you do? And we're like, hey, we need to do something together. And then just recently during the Happy at Home series, I had I wanted to do some fun thing with washi tape and I came across a layout from Christine Meyer and she does scrapping with Christine. And so I had just kind of met her through her stuff. And I thought that that was really fun too. Like that, you know, you know, she had just kind of come into my awareness and then there we were on this chat together. Yeah, that was just, it was really neat. Okay, so need a little plain behind this, either or. And do I want layered like this? Kind of not. I think I want, I'm unsure what to do with my layers. Maybe I have the option of going back to my half and half plan, so I'm just playing right now. I'm like, I can go back to my half and half plan. I really liked this pattern, I think, a lot. I really liked that pattern a lot. This one with the white is just too busy, especially if I'm going to use the little flowers. So maybe I won't use that one. But I would like to bring a little bit of this floral in because I think it's fabulous. So, okay, well, I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to cut this one down. Go back to my half and half plan. So, best as I watched it, it reminded me of Paper Clipping Round Table too. Daniela says, I did not make it at the live at 1 a.m. I know. But I watched the replay this morning and it was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And for me, like, because the topic was scrapbooking, memory keeping, it was fun. Kathleen said I had to run a clean on my photo printer last week too. My photos were printing up, and she's glad that was, yeah. So I printed the picture. I'm surprised it's not, oh, here. I found it, it fell. So this is how my picture printed. Not on purpose. All the blue didn't print. So I cleaned the print head and then all of a sudden all the red and yellow stopped printing and it was just printing blue. And then I cleaned it again and nothing was printing properly. And then I cleaned it again and I cleaned it again. I finally got it to start working, but I was just glad that that's all it was. It was like a nozzle issue and my determination that because I could see it changing, I knew that that was part of the problem. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it done with that. Oh, Montag said, I enjoyed the chat. Well, thank you. I like the half and half design. Taking class by yeah, she on, oh, it's all on half and half designs. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she had done it all as half and half designs. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it like this. I don't know if I want to run it all the way down to the bottom or if I want to like mat it. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards this. And yeah, I think this will give me plenty of stuff for doing. Yeah, I want to add a little bit of this in here. Maybe I'll do some like layering pieces with this stuff and that stuff. Yeah, I might do that. But I think I'm just going to keep it down here like this and not kind of cut the whole thing off. So I think I need to take off like 1/2 inch instead of 1 inch. I can always cut it shorter if at the end, if I don't like it. I can't cut it longer. So I'll go with conservative, and then I'll see as I build the page if I still like the look later. Because I can always shorten it a little bit more and raise it up, right? So that I have a full mat, but I kind of am liking this effect. So yeah, we'll air here right for now. Now, I do have some fun embellishments, and I'd like to kind of see if there's any pieces that are good, like layering pieces for with the photo, because I think that will become important. Looks like this will be a page where I use like a white gel pen to write on it, unless I wanted to add another piece of something. I could add some white and do some journaling. Journaling strips might be perfect, actually. Yeah, and I like this true story, so that's probably going to come on here. Life is tough, but so are you. You matter, one of a kind. Love you, good vibes. Today, I like the rainbow thing in this today. I have to tell you, I'm about that. I think I just bought the fancy paper that must match this. So I don't think I knew what collection it was from, but it has like a shimmery kind of foily, but not foil, like almost just a shiny effect to the paper. It was nice. Together, smile. Okay, so I've got a few things on there. I love these kind of stickers with the dimension. I love that. These flat stickers. Oh, yeah, they have this effect. So pearlescent almost. They're kind of pearlescent. I don't know if you've seen the stuff. This almost looks holographic, but almost pearlescent. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Holographic maybe, but it doesn't have holographic in the way that I don't know. Has anybody tried taking pictures of holographic embellishments? Seriously, they don't photograph well. Like usually they just like bling and they show up all black, but these look like they would be okay to try to photograph. Good memories. What a journey. That fits. Believe in kindness today. Good vibes. It's nice to be nice. Bummer. A little bit of magic. Huh. That's a good one. Huh. Like it just kind of leaves you like hanging there like, And then I'm going to check the little embellished pieces. So I've got perfect day, and this one has like fun effect on it as well. Girl gang, blah, blah, blah. My husband literally, I have another page I can put that on because he has accused me of saying that. Oh, I like this. She didn't just do the word today. She also did the word dream. So you have different options. A good old nope. Nice to be nice. There's like little animals, jaguars, tigers, something, some leopards. I don't know, some kind of little spotty thing. I've got these little stickers, and I got this weird kind of creepy eyeball. So I don't know about that, but yeah, the little pieces. None of them feel like a layering piece so much, like something that would go behind my photo. So I guess I'm not too worried about that. These little strips might be good for doing little accents once I start building some layers. So we'll go back to the pattern paper and we will make some layers. Definitely one with some florals, and I'll try to get this little raindrop, snow, I don't know, crazy blizzard snowstorm. I don't know what that paper is, but it's fine. And I've already got the pink, so might need some accent pink, but other than that. Okay, so 1/2 and 1/2. I'm going to leave the 1/2 and 1/2 split in the background, but then I'm going to layer into this area so that I can have a title in here. So I think I want a piece that's about this big. And then I'll have a piece of this. That's going to be a little bit taller and skinnier. I have to cut it this way. How wide? About that wide. And I'm going to run that right down and off that page too, so that I have that. Okay. My florals could be a little longer. I wish I'd done that a little bit longer. It feels a little short. I wanted to stick out a little bit more here. Is that wider? No, this one's wider though. I'll just get another piece of it. So maybe I'll want to cut a little piece of this one. So I need a little bit longer. I hate it when I do that, but you know, I'd rather just fix it than look at it and say, oh, I was too lazy to cut the piece again. Yeah, that'll be better. Just needs to be a little shorter. Well, actually, it's not too bad. So if I run that there and then run this one, is that better? This is trying to get that right balance. I kind of want this one to be over top of that one. Okay, I think that will work, but it's still too tall. So I'm going to take an inch off of it and I think that'll be fine. Ooh, maybe I'll just go 3/4 of an inch. Like I said, I can cut it again. Yeah, I didn't want it to cut off like right here at the middle of the photos. So I wanted it to kind of be either under both of them a little or just one of them is kind of like an either or. But I also wanted it to stretch a little further than it was. So there. There, I think we found it. That feels better. And then this is feeling like really, really square, right? Like it's just a super square layout. And I think that to soften it, we need some line somewhere that this is going to make this feel a little bit softer. So I need something that's like round or, you know, something that has some flexibility to it. Actually, what I really like is a big circle right here. I don't know that I have enough paper for a big circle of anything here, but I could do some sketchy circles. So I'm going to just take this and set this to the side, and then I'm going to stick these down, and then I'm going to do a sketchy circle. And we'll see. Hopefully that looks good. Scrapbooking is about experimentation and playing, and I don't know. I like having that little bit of soft that goes with all of the hard, the sharp angles when you're doing all the straight lines. I think that adding something that has soft edges or round edges or something is a good feeling. Kind of to lighten it. And I think that's one of the reasons that lots of times when we, like, you'll see a lot of layouts that have florals kind of around the corner, part of an embellishment cluster. I think it's part of why we layer embellishment clusters around our photos to start with, is to kind of take those hard lines and help blend that all and into our pages. So sketchy circle, which means I need a circle to draw around because I'm not talented enough to do that on my own. Shoot. Oh, that'll work. Mostly. Oh, it's got a big rim around it. Oh. It's dry. Okay. It's not big enough, I don't think. Oh, it's dirty too. That's great. That's gonna be under my photo, but oh my gosh, that happened. Live on camera. Alice mucks up her page again. It's like real life. It lives here, guys. I have my cutting things. That's what I'm looking for, is my little cutting things from close to my, or from Creative Memories, and I'm just not seeing them. Oh, and I don't know that I can draw a circle without having a circle. Oh, my garbage can. I just need like the first circle to get help on it, and then after that it's okay. So here's my garbage can. We're going to use my garbage can to give me that first circle. Okay. No, I still can't even get to it. Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I know this one looks terrible, but that's okay. It doesn't have to look good yet, because I'm gonna draw more, and the magic is in the more. If this pen will cooperate. I want to be able to go faster. This pen is not liking it. Where's the one that's on my desk? This one works better. Okay, absolute patience going on here. Okay, that's good. I'm like, oh my gosh, was this gonna work? Okay, we got there. That was terrifying. Okay, now you can see a lot of it's like, whoo, that's really ugly. It's okay, because everything layers, right? Everything layers. And in the end, that ugly, scary gets all covered up, and it's like lovely and beautiful. Yes. Okay, that worked out great. I love sketchy circles so much. I think they're just wonderful. And so there's going to be a little bit more layering, right? Because we'll add that. But this definitely, I'm feeling it. Trimmer. Okay, I got to take some space off of this one. There. Pop that into here. Okay, so I'm going to start sticking down some of these other layers. At the top of the hour here, which we've almost reached, sometimes when I've reached my layering stuff, we'll do a draw from the scrap room so that you could win one of these awesome kits too. So, you know, that will be a fun thing that we'll do here in just a few minutes. This and this. And maybe some round corners. Round corners, yeah, that's a good way to soften those edges. But yeah, just definitely needs a little softening here. That little circle thing look good. And then I'll still have some space to add some little strips for some journaling or just a whole journaling piece. Yeah. Good. Okay, so there we go. And now we can add little pieces. This one has that. That's not what I need. That's got plenty of that paper. Oh, little bits of this one. Okay, now I wanted that word, the true story. And I'm thinking that's probably going to sit in here, but is it going to sit on a piece? Maybe a little circle piece or another little piece. I almost wish I had one more pattern for this paper. With that, not using that butterfly paper, that's cut me back by one pattern, and I'm definitely feeling it. Because I want a little bit that's going to fit in here. Ooh, but I do have those little stickers. That would be good. Okay. So. I'm going to put some of this. Oh, I didn't stick that down yet. Better not do that. Stick this down. Plus my picture will be moving all over the place and then I'll have a problem. Okay. So true story, I'm going to fit up here. I think I put that down lower this time. See, that's, I need to do that first. No, I need a little platform for this. Can't use this, can't use that. Okay, I'm gonna put like a little stripe across here, but to do that, I don't have enough of this little piece and it's already kind of right. So I'm gonna tuck it. I'll just cut it and trim it and tuck it underneath. So I want this to stick here. And then on the other side, I'll run it off the paper over here. So this pink one, it's not really like I wanted the pink so much. I just want a piece that's gonna stick out this way. And then I can layer my, those little stickers, those little color stickers there. So this little color one can get layered onto that. And I'll do the same thing with the stickers. I'll cut it and make it fit. So it's gonna sneak behind there. And then this is gonna sneak behind here. Perfect. That's just off the edge a little. So just kind of like making some different little jaggedy ends. I'm gonna do the same with this black one on here. Okay. Yeah, okay, well this is coming together. And then we'll do the draw and be able to get this. So I have a question. Alice, I used washi tape. Are you impressed? I am. We did a whole day about using washi tape and it was awesome. So I am impressed. Star student, gold star for Heather. Gold star. Okay, so that's good. So that's, I'll stick that back down. It's like temporary until like it kind of is there for a while. So I like it that I can like, we're moving this again. Okay, so now my true story is going to have like a nice little resting spot right here. I don't want it up here, right? No, I kind of do. I want to have it a little bit higher. Oh, and I like that there. So just playing with placement, but I've wanted it overlapping this a little bit. So that's part of where we went. Okay, and then I'm gonna do some little strips down here for my words. And then the rest is just little embellishments and stickers. So I think it's time to do a draw. Well, let's do this. That's the one item I didn't buy in the color study, was like the washi tape. I get it. I know. We went through our washi tape phase, and then all of a sudden we're not using it in the way that we did before, right? Like we go through changes. So I'm going to pull up a random number generator. And let's have a look. We've got 28 on here, but one of them is me. So that means out of 27, oh, you guys have good odds today. And I'll hit the generate button, and it says 7. So let me count number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ethel Swanson. Ethel, can you please send me an email? Congratulations. Send me an email to support@scraphappy.org. And I'm going to type that in here. Support@scraphappy.org. And Ethel, congratulations. Please send me the email so that I know that you can collect your prize, or type in the chat so that I know that you got it, so that you're like, yay! So congratulations. And I'll need your actual mailing address, because you will receive this kit, this May kit. They set one aside just for the winner, because lots of times they sell out of their kits, and you will have a kit. I don't know that you get the embellishment add-ons. Like if you decide to order something like that, that's up to you, but you get the kit. It is sent to you completely for free. So congratulations, Ethel. I'm just hoping that she'll like comment in here. Somebody let me know if you see her comment. So just so that I know, because I'm like, I always want my winners to win and to know that they won. But yeah, send me the email so that you can collect your prize. And if you're catching this on the replay, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you'll be able to catch us live during one of the times, and then you could win just like Ethel, so that you could have your own awesome prize from the Scrap Room. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to the Scrap Room. I purchased my own kit because I think it's worth it for me to buy them, but they sponsor the kit that we're giving to you. So thank you so much to the Scrap Room for doing that with us. It has just been a delight for me to work with the kits. You can see how much I love the products. When I'm looking through all of the 4 different kits, I'm just like, woohoo, lots of fun things. And so if you would like to bring a little bit of variety into your scrappy stash, and they also have sketches, they have videos that show how different designers have used the kits. So they have a lot of stuff. Ethel says, what? I won something? Yes, please email me. Yes, I'll need your actual mailing address as well, Ethel. So support@scraphappy.org. scraphappy.org. I'll just type it in there. So if you copy and paste that, then you can send me the email, and you will get a Flavors of the Month kit from the Scrap Room. Yay. Oh, that's good. I'm always like so relieved when because I don't have your info until you send me the stuff. So yeah, this is really fun. So this page where it is right now, it's kind of at the point where it needs finishing touches. I do the finishing touches as I add the journaling. So I use my little stickers, my puffy stickers. These ones are like the dimensionals, because they're tall, right? Like, look how tall they are. I love that. Yeah, I'll probably use a few more of those just in accents to kind of soften the edges, to blunt some of those sharp corners. It's funny because I don't always cover the corners, but yeah, it just depends on where they sit and how it works, but definitely softens up layout. And I think that's why florals are so popular. Well, that went really, really well. I feel like that was a huge success. And I did not use a found item on this page, though. I will tell you, part of that technique was using a found or recycled item. So I didn't do that because I just used the kit. I'm kind of wondering, like, what kind of found item would go? There's probably something that I could find in my stash. I probably have a little metal airplane or something like that in my little metal embellishment stash. That would be a fun thing to add. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one to the side for right now, since that one has been underway. And I'm gonna start playing with another one. Heather says the sketches are fabulous. Yeah, ScrapRoom, they are doing stuff so well. Their design team makes great pages for inspiration. Their kits, like, I love them. Seriously, guys, I'm so happy. I'm like, I'm thrilled to kind of work with them to be able to sponsor these sessions. Like when I reach out to them, she's like, sure, what do you need? And she's always like that. So it's like small businesses and, you know, supporting small businesses. And then, okay, so funny story. I went to Creativation the one year, and this is before I started using the kits from the scrap room. And I run into Rochelle, and who was with her? Oh shoot, her other friend. Blanking. Okay, so I'm blanking. Sorry. But they told me that they had done their first load, and after the load that they did, they loved it so much, they just kept scrapbooking every single day. And at the point that I'd seen them, they'd been scrapbooking for over a year, every single day, because they just got started, and then they held each other accountable. And like, have you scrapbooked today? What have you scrapbooked today? And I just loved hearing that so much. I was like, oh, super fun. Okay, that is that. Well, when I was going through these papers, I had really loved some of these. So I don't have any scrapbook photos printed on my desk, but I do happen to have a bunch of photos of when my cousins were here, because I printed 10 million photos that one summer. So I've been working my way through and telling some of those stories. So since I have a bunch of them handy, I'll pull out some of that. Darling and Sunshine. Oh, I don't know if this is the right batch of photos. Don't know if this is the right batch. Not for those ones. Those aren't Darling and Sunshine photos. But these ones will work. These ones will work just fine. Okay. So let's bring that up. Yeah. Perfect. Let's go here and share this again. Oop, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Don't share the sound. Optimize. Okay. It's working. Okay. So one small part of my stash are these photos that we did with the girls at my mom and dad's. And I've got these super cute photos of my cousin Emily sitting on my mom's lap, and it was just so funny. So I'm gonna pull those ones out right now and see. And she just hopped up like she's like a little kid. She's 15 years old, but she's just that sweet and adorable. And yeah, I think that this would be fun. So I'll try to pick one that I think my mom looks ultra adorable, because Emily looks so cute in on them, all of them. But like it was like a full-on photo shoot sitting on my mom's lap. She'd come over to visit when she was, like 6 years old the one time, over from Wales. And oh my gosh, like she was just the cutest little 6-year-old kid you've ever seen. And then she'd open her mouth and she had her adorable little accent, and I was just smitten. Like we were all just smitten because she's so sweet. And then as a 15-year-old, she came over and like nothing had changed. She was just as adorable as a 15-year-old. And just super kind and stuff. So yeah, this will be fun. And actually, so she's got this little dress. It has some purple, but it also has like these like pinky reddish and the yellow. So I think this paper is going to go really nicely with this. Maybe not this pinky, but this yellow I think will be good. And I could probably use this pale pink. I do love that, but I think this would work better. Yeah, I think this is going to work out just fine. I've got that lovely little gold accent that I can use. And there's, I don't know how many duplicates I have of the same photos in here. This is crazy. I printed a lot. We actually made scrapbooks together when the girls were here, and it was super fun. So I think, yeah, that's the same photo. I think it's my favorite. So we're going to go with my favorite one. I know there's a million photos here. I'm not going to use them all. Realistically, it's just not going to happen. So I'll use the one. It will represent them all and it'll be good, right? How do you feel about that? When you have multiples, do you feel that you need to use them, or you feel like as long as I have the one that kind of helps me represent that story, I'm good? Because I used to feel that pages that had one photo, like back in the day, I felt like pages that had one photo, like, how are you ever going to get your photos scrapped if you're only putting one photo on the page? Like, but then as time went by, I started focusing more on how I could tell my stories. And as I told the stories, it really changed my approach, because then it was less about the photo. Like, it's not like it's not about the photo, but it's less about the photo and more about telling the story. And the photo kind of becomes an embellishment for my story, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Oh, I didn't open up my chat. I can't even see what you're saying. This is terrible. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so we got this flooring, and then we got this lovely floral, this yellow floral, and I got this soft pink. It's on the other side. Oh, I might want some of this too, some of this green color. But I think that this is not going to work. It's funny how it's just too much of the pale pink. And this pale pink is okay. Why is that? I don't know. Something. Sometimes I can't figure out why you like something. And that bugs me, because I'm like, there's got to be a reason. But this floral is just not working, for at least with this. So interesting. Okay, I think what I would like to do is one of those designs that has, ooh, I should use our sketch. So our ScrapHappy sketch right now, do I have the layout sitting right? Ooh, I think I moved it. Okay, I'm gonna see if it's sitting on top of my pile here. No, I didn't move it. I set something else on top of it, but it was okay. It was right there. So this is the page that is from our ScrapHappy sketch this month. And you can see it's got a strip down the side, and then we've got some cascading, like cascading pattern out from there. I would say if you're doing this, watch out for ones that have text on them, unless you're okay with your text being wonky. I kind of wasn't okay with wonky text, so that paper was a bit of a pain in the butt. Little pain in the butt, because I wanted to make that the text kind of be the right way. But other than that, I think this is fun. I've got more patterns maybe than what I have available here, so I might have to cut back on some patterns, but I think I'm going to attempt to do this. So the ScrapHappy sketch is just for our ScrapHappy members, and it is posted in our sketches area on our circle community. And you can find that there. And if you enter to, if you make a page, you can share it underneath the sketch, and we will be having prizes during our next month happy hour. We have prizes sponsored from Redefined Creative, and she puts together some pre-cut cut files, and I think she was going to start adding some other little embellishments from her shop too. So kind of fun. Okay, so I think to make this really work, I think I need a darker paper for the background. And that last kit that I was using, no, it had white. I saw one of them had dark. Do I want dark, or do I want, ooh, what if I brought that purple? The purple from her thing, from her dress, that'd be good. Okay, I'm gonna bring an extra piece of cardstock in. Okay, and I think these are perfect. So just adding this other color of cardstock, and I didn't know which one I wanted, but I think the darker one will be better. But I've got the other one here now, just in case. Just in case. And so this collection doesn't actually have purple in it, but I think that because I'm using these more neutral colors, right? I'm just using the plain pink, kind of the plain floral, and the plain wood, that by adding in this other color, it's not going to feel off. And I'm just going to use this as my backdrop. We'll keep the other one handy just in case I want to use it for other embellishments or something. I'm going to use that as my background rather than using this paper, because I want to use this wood grain. I think it's a little too tone on tone for what I was working on. So I'm going to be making kind of like this sunrise style coming from the photo, which I think will be super appropriate for this. Now, my consideration, do I make it come, do I want it to go the same direction, or do I want to flip this and have it go the other way? I'm a little bit feeling like it should go the other way. Okay, there we go. So we'll do that. Okay. I left a little border around the whole sheet, but I think I did that all at the end where I cut things down. I don't know that there's an easy way to make a radial design from paper. I just kind of winged it. Let's be real. I just kind of winged it. And, but I think that'll be fine. With this having so many different shapey patterns, I'm going to use this for designs that are like along here. I'm going to use that for this pattern, and then maybe I'll be able to use it for one of the other pieces. But I think by choosing this to go along that piece will be probably my best choice for that pattern. And I'm just going to measure really quick. I did about a 3.5 inch strip of that. So let's start there. Start there. Yeah, I love that. I love that stripe. It's just not gonna work for this. So that's gonna be my first little piece. I'll have this for a base. And then I gotta start making the radial. So if I'm just using these two colors for my radial, I think that should be okay. But it'd be better if I can use this one too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this paper to the leftover part. Now I wanted to leave a little edge, so maybe I should plan for that right now. And that way I'm not working off of like crazy numbers here. I'm just gonna take a 1/4 inch off here. No, half an inch off of there. So this one here is going to be ruler. So this one here is going to be my my next part. So I want this one to be 8 inches. So I'll just cut this to my 8 inches, and then I'm going to cut this to the right length by cutting off a 1/2 inch. So I'll show you kind of what I set up here. So I've got this border piece, and then I've got this piece here. Now I'm going to make the other piece with the flowers the same size. Now, do these flowers have orientation? They look better maybe like that. I don't think they totally do. So that, and then I'll take off my little 1/2 inch. All right, so now with this, because I'm kind of planning to alternate them, I should be able to kind of make my radial lines out from here and plan to have that work, like to have those together. So if I kind of cut them together, the only thing is you kind of sometimes have to cut that little piece if you want to have the lines in between the different patterns, right? That's kind of a fun thing with that. Is trying to get the little pieces. If somebody knows like a faster, easier way, like shout it out, be like, Alice, you're doing it all wrong. But this is what I did last time, and it worked. It got me to the outcome that I wanted, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the easiest way to work with it. But for me, like pages that I do something like this are just so much fun. I talked about switching this time though, so note to self. I'm gonna switch it, switch it first. Otherwise I'll be doing it the other way. So now it's a matter of thinking about where do I want the sun rays to kind of start coming from as I place my photo. So if my photo is going to be here and I want my sun rays to be starting, you can start them from the center, which is fine, but depending on where the photo sits, I've got a lot of green stuff, and there's like a white vehicle in the background there, which I think is a little distracting. So I'm considering cutting that part off. I don't know if I can cut the whole thing and make the photo look okay. We'll see. I'm just gonna do it. Turns out I have a spare in case I don't like it. In case I don't like it. But I think that's better. I think without the little thing in there, and I think I'd almost like to take it in a little bit on the sides too. So I'm gonna pull off a little bit of on each of the sides just to give us back the more rectangular. Yeah. Okay, so that's my photo, and I'll have my sun rays. So this one you'll notice like it's not at the bottom because I left room for journaling down there. So I'm going to start it again here, which just means that here I'm going to draw myself like a little kind of like starting point. I want my radial rays to kind of come, well, I'll make them come from this point where it's a natural split on the page. And that should work. So now it's just a matter of kind of seeing like how many pieces of the sun rays do I want. I'd like to be able to use some of this other pattern. I don't know that I'm going to be able to flip it and make it work. We'll see. If I have to just do it with the two, that's okay. This is a little wasteful, but one thing you could do is do 2 pages that are like the same at the same time, and then it would be less wasteful because you could just kind of cut both patterns at the same time and make them work. So then from this point that I've decided to have my sun rays, I just took my ruler and kind of drew the sections as to where I wanted the sun rays to kind of go to. And that's became my radial point. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully it's gonna work out good. I'm just gonna do it on the top one, and I'm gonna cut the bottom one at the same time when I put them into my cutter. Okay, stay there. And then it's just a matter of how many sections. Now, one thing that I noticed that I really like is when my corner section has a corner and I'm not just meeting at the corner. I like the look of it having an actual corner on the pattern. So as I draw my next line, I'm going to make sure that it's actually including the pattern in there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last time. That allows me to kind of alternate my patterns. So I think that's what I will, I'll plan for on this one as well. And I could make this last one straight, but I think that by making it a little bit crooked, it just feels more sunray-like. Okay, so that's the pieces that I need. The next part is it's easy to cut them, but then to have the space between them becomes the issue, right? It's the space between them that kind of becomes the issue. But I'm gonna just keep these together and I'm gonna start trimming them. And with my trimmer, it has like a little wire guide. So as long as I line my little wire guide up with the lines that I drew, then it's easy and it'll cut through 2 sheets, but just make sure that they're lined up for every single cut. And I'm going to take this and set this to the side and put them where I need them to be, because that's just going to make it a little bit easier as I go. Line that up. And then I'll cut this one. Make sure those pages are put together before I trim them. Otherwise, this won't work very good. So just and then here we go. So this and this. Okay, so we've got that trimmed and it looks totally fine. So now it's just a matter of like kind of taking out the alternating ones so that I have this design, and then the ones underneath the yellow. So I could totally make the same page just with the alternate pattern now. So I can make 2 if anybody likes making double pages. This is perfect. Now here's the situation. Because this is meant to kind of fit exactly together, and because things wiggle a little bit, they won't fit maybe exactly perfect. So what I did was just went in on one of the pieces, like one cut on each of the pieces, just to give us a little bit of space between them. So all I did was went in with my trimmer, and along that one edge, I just cut a little space, and that's going to be my space from them. And I'm just kind of keeping it consistent as to which side I take so that it's just kind of the same all the way around. So I'm going to cut this bottom one here. Just create this little gap. And then this bottom side here. It's easy enough to do like in your trimmer to create that little piece. And I don't think I have to do it on the last one because I've already got a gap that I. Okay, so let's have a look and see how that lays out now. Now that we've got that tested. So we've got this piece here. I'm actually going to just tape this one down right now because it doesn't need to have anything done to it. Is that going? Oh, that one's empty. I just finished one yesterday. Here, I'll grab you one. Okay. Oh, is that not a new one? That's not a new one. That's my pile of used ones. Oh. Okay, this one's definitely a new one. Still in the packaging. Okay. All right, let's put this piece on and line it up there. And so now when these ones sit, I still want them to sit like kind of by that other piece. I didn't actually separate them on my last one, but now you'll see that I'll have the space because I did the cuts off of like the edge of all of these. I'll have that space to create the lines in between the sundial. Right? How cool is that? I'm like, yay, it worked. I'm so happy. Like I knew that it should because I've done it before, but you know, it's like I'm on live camera. If something's gonna screw up, this is the time. So yeah, and like if you wanted, you could like push this over more and leave a gap here, but I didn't like the way that kind of separated my page so much there. So in the end, I chose to leave it here. And it looks like I've put this one over a little bit too far. So I can move this just a little bit further over. Just a little further over to line it up a little better. So yeah, that will be my radial background for this page. And yeah, I don't think, because I've cut all of this, like maybe, yeah. I've got another piece of that though, right? Where's the piece of the, there should be a piece of it, but I hid it somewhere probably. Anyways, but I don't think it would work to get this other one on here unless I cut a little piece of one of them. When I did this with my other layout, I had never done it before, so it was definitely a, oh, and there I go, I'm not putting it where I want to. It was definitely a learning process. For the girls that do digi scrapping, we already set this up so that you can pop your papers into it. So as a digi page, this will be really easy to create, I'll tell you. And we made sure that there is a PSD option and an option for the art pages if you're using like the Forever system. Thanks for showing the sunray how-to. I have never tried. Yeah, and this is my way. I don't know if there's like a better way, but I wanted the, like if you don't want the spaces between them, I think that's actually harder because getting those perfect cuts, holding those papers together, like if you taped the papers together, like in multiple places, maybe that would be easier. But I actually think that trying to make that that part is actually a little bit harder if you tried to have them butted up right against each other. Because like right now they're fitting, but you're gonna find that one of them didn't cut quite right, and then your sunray will feel like a little off, right? But by having the little gaps between them, you get a little bit more room for error. And like when you're cutting, you just can't help it, right? So the other place that you kind of worry is when you're lining up your corners, just lining up your corners to make sure. Oh, that's funny because now I feel like I've moved this too far over. I'm good at this. move it over a little bit more again because I did it. I thought I had it lined up and I'm like, no, it's running out of space. Okay. There. I'm excited though because it's a picture that I've been kind of not wanting to scrapbook because I wanted to do something special with it, and now I feel like that I have done something special with it, so it's good. Tell me that I'm not the only one who does that. I'm like, oh, I can't scrapbook this. It needs something special. It happens. It kind of happens. So with the last one, I had more patterns. I used more patterns, but some of those were front and backs. And so you'll notice that I actually, this is the only pattern that I repeated on here, but cutting this one was a little harder because I should have done a template and then just cut the pieces to match the template. And I didn't, and that was a pain. Now, one thing that I'm seeing that's worked out really well because I did this in this style is that this paper that has the grid pattern on it, this light pink one, is actually looking really up and down still. Like it's looking pretty straight overall. And I'm really happy with how that worked out. Now, feel free to tell me, Alice, you're like, oh my gosh, that was way too complicated. I would never do it. or do you like to try different techniques like stuff like this? Because for me, like this is all about the fun. Like this is all kinds of fun. So yay, that's awesome. Okay, well that's fun. And now like this part here, it looks imperfect, right? But like literally that's where my photo goes. So you know, if you're gonna have like an area that looks a little off, that's a good place to have it, right? And yeah, that turned out great. That's gonna be so pretty now. Ooh. Okay, so I grabbed that other sheet of purple and I think that I'm gonna use that other purple to kind of mat this photo because that will look good. Now I'm gonna do matting in the way that I don't normally do matting. I don't normally cut this. I usually measure. I'm a measuring matter. I don't usually cut. I think that's good. Beth says, I like to watch you try these techniques. I love it. I will experiment and play on your behalf. Oh, see, there's that paper that I was looking for. I knew it was here. See, that wouldn't have looked as good. I'm glad I didn't try using that. I could have used this for like one of these smaller pieces, but I would have been like a compromise to try to make it the right size. So it's all good.
When I first started scrapbooking, that's the only way I knew how to back up. I didn't measure. I just always put the picture on it and went around.
I never understood how people could do that, but like since I got this trimmer, like I'll tell you, like I've used the Fiskars like blade trimmers forever. From the time that they made like wonky lines when you're cutting, you're like, what am I doing wrong? To like when they finally got like the triple track and it was a lot more solid. And then when they came up with these ones that they called titanium, like they have like a titanium cutting blade on your little thing, but they also have this little tiny wire. Can you see the little tiny wire? If I hold something up underneath it here, you can see the little wire in here. Maybe you see the little wire now. Yeah, you can kind of see the little wire in there. And so I'm like, why would I need that? I can see where it's going to cut. Like that's not a big deal. But the precision that you can get when you get this one that has that little wire in there, you see exactly where it's going to cut. And I tell you, I love that. I was like, this is great. So while I was resistant to get it in the first place, once I got it, I was like, how did I scrapbook before I had this? And so, yeah, it really became that kind of thing where, yeah, it just made such a big difference. Oh, see, I can use the word lovely and darling and sun. I'm going to use all those words, lovely, darling, and sunshine. Like, how fun is that? So, yeah. And then I can put this little trim. See how cute that little trim will go along the side of that photo? I love that little stuff. I will say Maggie Holmes is not my go-to designer, but there's certain pieces from her collections that I was like, ooh, I can use that. I tend to like bolder collections, like more like a Vicky Boutin or actually I work really good with the photo play stuff. It's not even that bold sometimes, but yeah, like you saw me exclaim over that plaid paper. I was like, oh, lovely. So then I put this photo onto here and I'm gonna have a little room for that. I've got Emily with my mom. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to show my mom this. she's like always like, oh, that's nice, you scrapbook, but I think she'll like I think she'll enjoy this one. Emily. So cute things going on. Okay, come on. Let's convince it. What's this? A little plastic. Okay. So lovely. I have that trimmer. Yeah, I think it's great. Like it for me was great. I have tried using guillotine trimmers. I've tried using rotary trimmers. Like pretty much like if somebody had a cool tool, I'm like, ooh, let me see. Like always looking to see if it would be an upgrade. One of the things I really like about these kind of trimmers is the fact that you can go into things and cut like stuff out. And I actually do that quite a bit. Because I just need that little tiny bit more of that pattern or, you know, just a little tiny bit more of, you know, whatever it is like in the paper. And so being able to cut backgrounds out when I mat layers, let's see, when I mat big layers, I almost always cut the back out. I can't help myself. I'm like, that is just way too much of my pattern paper that I'm giving up to just matting. Like, I'm trying to think because I just did one here the other day. I don't know which one it was. But yeah, I'm terrible for it. Like I just love to cut the backings out if it's a big enough piece, right? I don't cut it out for all of them, but definitely a big enough piece. So fun. Yeah, no, I just the other day, so I'm trying to think. Cardstock, I have a ton of cardstock, so I never cut the back out of that. Unless it's a color that I don't have a lot of. Oh, no, I'm not seeing the one. But yeah, it's just funny how we get our little habits. So here's my question to you. Do you cut pieces out from behind if you know it's just layers? Do you do it, or are you just like, no, I have 10 million pieces of paper, I'm fine, I can just use it. I will sacrifice it. Vicky says she has the Creative Memories trimmer. We have a guide that will let you know exactly where it cuts as well. It has like a laser or something, right? Like it has like a little laser in it that shows you. I was like, that's cool. I could see going to something like that because like using lasers in scrapbooking is just, that would be awesome. Like I would just want it just for that reason because it's like, it has a laser. Jacqueline says, I have 10 million pieces of paper. And Marge says, yes, if I think I'll need it. Yeah, only if I'm doing something and I'm going to need it like right on this like upcoming project. Sometimes if I'm planning to use that paper line again, pretty sure that it was with some Vicky Booten color story that I had done that recently because I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this paper so much. I'm going to use it 10 million times. I've used it a few. I've definitely used it a few. Okay, so I'm putting this around. Okay, this one looks like it's all connected. Oh, I don't like pulling these off of the sheets. It's annoying. They're not bad. Like they come off easy, but still, it's like. And then trying to line them up to where you think they should go. Oh, the E is not attached. Okay. I cut out some, especially if you want a fussy cut from it. Yeah, you just need like a little piece. You're gonna cut a flower. You're gonna add like an extra little tiny piece to the page. You just need that little bit more. Okay. I posted one of my layouts in Load recently, and I was like, yeah, I just realized, oh, it was day one of Load. I got off on a good start. I post my first page and it says, thank you for being friend. I totally forgot the word when I was adding my title because I was trying to think if I wanted to line it up here or if I was going to try to squeeze it in here, but it felt weird to squeeze it in there because it was just too little. Right? It was like, and it just kind of looked weird by itself. And in the meantime, I forgot that I had this little conundrum and hadn't finished it. And apparently I don't read. So I take the picture, I post it up, and I'm looking as I'm posting it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even have a full title on there. Apparently Alice can't do grammar today. Well, most days probably. Okay, so this is cute. That letter looks like it's falling over. Okay. No, I still don't like how I placed it. Okay. That's better. Okay, so this is where I'm starting. I don't know which more embellishments will make it onto here. Obviously, I'd like to add some words to it, but I'm really, I'm digging this. This is looking good. So that's where I'm going to leave that for now. And we did that one and the other one. The other one. Where did I put the other one? Good question. So, oh, it's down here. So we've gone through 2 pages today. I've got 2 layouts underway. And they are both quite different, using different papers, both using stuff from my ScrapRoom kits. I'm very excited. Now I just need to get some stories added and little finishing embellishments, which is always fun, but it takes me a really long time, I will confess. Like I'm terrible at adding like the little doodads at the end. It's like here, 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 here. It's terrible. But I definitely am not like an over embellisher when it comes to that. Candace says, I'm editioning a Carl trimmer. I really like it overall. It's big and I'll look at getting the Fiskars one for crops when they start up again. Cool. I know, I love crops. Yeah, I love just going in and cutting from here to here and out of my paper. And yeah, that's just the rotary trimmer. I was like, no, this is just not going to work for me. Vicky says it doesn't have a laser, but it has 2 guides, one at the top and one at the bottom that you can run up or down your track on top of the paper. I like it, especially for cutting borders off of things that I want smaller. Yep, having like those little helpful things. There is one that has a laser. I've seen it. There is one that does have a laser. So I just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining me today. It is so fun to hang out and scrap. Did anybody have some show and tell before we wrap up? Is there something that you made and you're like, I can show you my thing? I would love to see. Please remember that I post these on YouTube and they are open for everybody to watch. So just, heads up on that if there was something. The comment, 10 million pieces of paper. I totally, yeah. So Jacqueline has something. So, I asked you to unmute. Did I mute you? Okay, sorry. Let me spot you.
If we can get that. So there's my construction page.
Yay! Oh my gosh, you guys are doing so much.
It's a small house, but we've got to move everything out of that room next. So
I love how you use all the gears. Oh, that's perfect. Gears are so great. And the under construction, do you have like twine or something wrapped around that under construction part?
I wish I could claim that, but it's one of the paper house stickers, has a whole set that's like layered, and so cool. It came with the twine. Cool.
Oh, and there's power tools. Oh, are those on the picture or on the?
Nope, it's from the same sticker pack. There's a drill and tape measure.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I love it. And good luck. I hope everything goes as planned and actually stays on some kind of time schedule. That would be like the other thing that would be awesome. Sonia says, would you like to see my currently cards? Of course I would. Of course I would. Let's bring you up and spotlight you. Okay.
Well, I thought I listened to, is it Kristen? Are you Kristen?
Yeah.
There was about how she does the currently. So I made my own and I put these one after the other in my diary once a week. And it's really quite, can you see them or are they?
Yeah. No, and they're the right way around for us. I know it.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Zoom
this
is it.
One currently, and I think a lot of them are on there. But what I ended sort of adding in the end was what's in the news, which just works out quite nicely to sort of read back. And this, I make these 4x6, so they'll fit in Project Life. I just put them in my journal. And then to kind of sort of change it up a bit. So these are digital stamps. So I've got different colors. Mm-hmm. So this is my current favorites. So it's kind of, there's some overlap, but some different things.
Can you tell us the kinds of things that you have on the list?
Shall I do the, I can show you one that's filled out if you want to see.
Oh, sure.
So there's what I'm wearing, my clothes, favorite shoes, crafting, songs, podcasts, pens and paper, of course, because I thought I'm quite obsessed with it. Toiletry, sweets and snacks, plants and animals. And then the currently says feeling, loving, making, learning, writing. What does that say? Listening, so like podcast or whatnot. Watching, playing, eating and drinking, or in the news.
I love that you added that in the news to it, because I think that really is a great way to add a little piece of what's happening in our world without necessarily having to go in deep, but like even having a little note about it would be good.
Because I noticed there seems to be a sort of theme each week. Something big is in the news that, 3 weeks later might have forgotten all about it, but looking back would be quite interesting, I think.
That's cool.
Anyway, if anybody wants them, I could put them on the Facebook group or something. If you wanna, if anybody wants them.
Could you put them in our member sharing section?
I think so. I can have a go.
Perfect.
Otherwise, I'll email them to you.
Perfect.
I'll have a go. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and I think Cheryl has a share. So Cheryl, do you want to do a screen share? let me check my settings. Hold on.
Sure.
To make sure that they're set, because yeah, no, it's set.
Okay.
I went in and I overrode all the settings in the back of Zoom. I'm like, stop making me do this.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think it's sharing
Yeah.
now. So I'm using the template for this month, and I'm using a kit called Player One. And so I'm just pulling some of those pieces out. I've gotten all my papers in there.
I think
Now,
more embellishments. It doesn't look like a Cheryl page yet.
yeah, haven't got to the embellishments yet. But yeah, I really wanted this paper that's underneath the scenery. Because he's actually playing Minecraft. So I liked all those pixels, but I don't like the purple. So I may do some color adjustments, but then again, I may just take it easy on myself and just go, because this, is like a scene that you build in Minecraft. So I'll just probably go with that.
I love the papers. That's a really fun thing. I was on a chat last night and they were talking about how we need more stuff for gamers that aren't necessarily for boys. And this would definitely work for anyone that wants to game. And I think digital has really embraced some of that. I have a question, Cheryl. Like, I know that you do design like templates and stuff. Do you also design like digital collections and stuff as well?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I just create compositions one after another.
So okay, and I was like looking around through your shop, and like I am not a digital person, like I don't get it yet. So like I'm learning, but you have like your dress up and dress down. Can you explain that? Like what that is?
Okay, so my style, like is let's put all the things on the page. So that's dressed up. You're like going to the prom and you've put everything on that you could put on. The best makeup, every piece of jewelry kind of thing. And the dress down is the same composition. It just doesn't have the, 60 to 80 layers in that PSD file or page file. So it's, it's going to be very simple. And then you can add, of course, more elements if you want to, but there's a lot of people who like a more minimal style. So they liked my compositions. They just didn't like having to go through all the element layers. So sometimes I'm better at doing dress down because it's not my go-to style, and it hurts sometimes to take things off because I'm like, well, now it looks weird because I've taken all these things off. So I have to alter where things are sometimes on the dress down, but that's why those are made. So and then
well, I'm so happy that you explained that, because like I was guessing that maybe, but like I was trying to compare because you had two kits, they had the same name, and one was dress up and was dress down, and I'm like, so is it like the layers of embellishments that are kind of different? Is it like, so thank you. I'm so glad that you explained that.
And I did go through a stage where I actually, because there are a lot of white space digital scrappers. So I went through a stage with the dress down where I was actually minimizing not just the amount of elements, but the actual composition was decreased about 70, sometimes 60% down. So the photos would be really tiny. So you'd have a lot of white space on your page. But I found that most of the dress down people like the bigger composition, just less elements on the top.
And so please tell us where we can find your shop and tell us about that, since I have you here and
Yeah, you can find me at the Lily Pad, and my design name is Fiddle-Dee-Dee Designs. And I have free templates that I give out every month, and you can absolutely use them as sketches. So yeah, you can find that on my Facebook page, on my website, in the TLP forum. I try to post them in various places so you can find them easily. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much, because I think
Yeah.
that your designs are beautiful. Your pages are beautiful. And like when I saw all that you're doing with the templates, I was like, wow, look at this.
Yes. Yeah, it's been last year I hit my 10th year of designing templates, and
Do you look back at some old stuff and you're like, oh girl, what were you doing?
oh yeah, they're retired. I don't want them to see the light of day again. They were just absolutely terrible, and it changes over time how much you learn the program, whatever. But it's I paper scrapped for 10 years, so before I became a digi scrapper. And so I still like to play with paper. I just do it in my Happy Planner.
Cool.
And yeah.
A little bit of everything. Well, thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much.
And just as a reminder to anybody that was doing load with us, that Cheryl actually had a giveaway for our day 14. Was it 14? No, that's wrong. 12, I think.
No, 14.
Was it 14? Okay.
Yep.
The days are going by.
Yes, right.
Day 14, there was a giveaway for the Fiddle DD designs at the lily pad. So you can, if you haven't checked and you're behind or you missed a day in load and you didn't get to see the video, make sure you don't miss out on that. So yeah, well, this was such a fun day. Thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for some show and tell. That's always super fun. I love that you were using that sketch today, and I can't wait to see your finished page. We do this once a month. So if you've missed this, or if you're joining us for the first time, we do this once a month, and you can actually subscribe to my free events calendar on the ScrapHappy website. So when you go to scraphappy.org, up in the top, there's a part that says free events. And if you click that, there is oh, it's not actually listed under there. I've got it. You have to scroll down. And so on the ScrapHappy free events layer, let me show you really quick what that looks like. So on the home page right now, which we will be changing, but when you scroll down, you'll come to this area that says free events, and there is a free events calendar. It is a Google Calendar, which you can subscribe to. ScrapHappy members, you get this stuff on your calendar, so you don't need to do this. But anybody that is not a ScrapHappy member yet, you can go and check out the free events, and they're added to that calendar. And then of course, you just need to make sure that you're on the email list. But if you joined me today, you were. So the email list you can sign up for right here at the top. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. This has just been so much fun. We have ScrapHappy events happening next week. We have Scrap School with Sarah on Tuesday, and then there's some more stuff too. So lots of good things coming up. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. I love seeing you do your sunburst. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. I was so glad. I'm like, oh, let's do this. Let's use our sketch. So that turned out really fun. So thanks, and I will see you soon. Happy scrapping. Hopefully, if you're making your load pages, that you'll have that all wrapped up and posted today. And thank you so much. Bye, everyone.